Well, hello again, Golden Eagles. Today I'm in Chapel Place on the Hattiesburg campus, just a few feet from the steps of the Hub, where a young undergraduate student, Jimmy Buffett, played his guitar, and just a Brett Favre pass from the Rock, where the NFL Hall of Famer drove defensive coordinators crazy to the delight of Eagle fans everywhere. But while those legends are well known, this area of campus also features one of the most mysterious Southern Miss stories. The University of Southern Mississippi has been home to a number of secret societies over many decades, but perhaps the most recognizable is the society which features the mark on the rock just to my left. And today I'm talking with former USM staff member and Hattiesburg resident Barbara Ross, who is engaged with the society to gain its support for a number of university projects. Of course, I'm going to ask Barbara what she knows, how she communicates with the society, and about the society's efforts at USM. So I really hope you enjoy learning more about this Southern Miss story. Well, welcome, Barbara Ross. How are you?
Well, thank you. I'm doing fine.
Good. So we are here to talk a little bit about a secret society here at Southern Miss. But first off, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay. I attended USM and graduated with my master's in '72 and immediately started working. My first job was Assistant Dean of Women, which really involved advising the women organizations, including the sororities. And that evolved over the years to become Director of Greek Life, and I worked with the fraternities and sororities. So I did that for 18 years, and then I became the Director of the Union and Student Activities, and I did that for almost 22 years. So I had 40 years with the university.
Okay. So late in your career as a staff person, you received a contact from the secret society at USM. Tell us a little about that contact.
Okay, well, it began in 2005, and before I had any contact with them, I walked out of the Hub one day to see this rock and was amazed. How did somebody overnight cement a rock into the ground and campus police knew nothing about it? So I thought it was a fraternity prank. So I started asking around, and come to find out, Joe Paul had received a check in the amount of $777.77 for a student who had the need as a result of the hurricane.
So do you get a notification every time something occurs?
Everybody thinks I know who they are. I have no idea. I just communicate through P.O. Box 707. Another thing that they did during the centennial, in appreciation for the work that I have done, they sent me this gold leaf necklace. So I proudly wear that, and it gives me an opportunity to tell people about the gold leaf.
So how much time have you spent exploring who this is?
Yeah.
Trying to get to the bottom of it, so to speak.
I have, early on, lots of discussion, and I think that's what they wanted to happen, to people talk about it and get excited about it. So there was lots of discussions with students, with faculty. Another thing they do, they always, at Founders Day, give a gold watch to the student government president. So the student government has gotten involved in the discussion, and so we'll get a group of us together and, brainstorm, who do you think it is? Or, I think it's alumni and friends of the university. I learned that in 1877, the Mississippi Teachers Association was formed, and it was that body that worked for over, I think it was around 33 years to have a Mississippi Normal College approved. So that's the beginning of it. Mm-hmm. So they're always, doing, whether it's small or big, things that honor people and give, keep the name alive. And that's one thing they've said in their letters. They do not want people to focus on them. They wanted the focus to be on the people they honor. So I wrote them a letter and asked them, wouldn't it be neat if the Gold Leaf had the first naming opportunity in the Thad Cochran Center? We had one room with a 7 in it, so that would be very appropriate. The problem was the cost of the room was $25,000, not the 777. So that began, of course, I sent the letter on April 7th, and we communicated once a month on the 7th of the month until July 7th, 07/07/07. I received a letter with the first installment of the 7 payments they would make for the naming right.
So you must get all the time that you must absolutely be a member of this secret society. What is your response to that?
I try to tell people I really do not have a clue. It just all evolved because I guess I was brave enough to ask for large money and they gave it to me, you know.
So were you surprised?
Yes, because I think up till that time, most of the checks had been for $777.77. April 7th to July 7th, we corresponded back and forth. And one of the things, you know, when I first asked, they sent me a letter and said they had 7 questions for me. And one of the questions was, can we pay in 7 installments instead of the normal 5 that go through the foundation?
So have they given you any indication about what's coming next?
No, I just get the carbon letter. Now, I will say they have been so good to me. You know, when I retired, they donated money for a naming right in honor of me in the Union or in the Thad Cochran Center. But as a result of that money and other monies people have given, this past Founders Day was the 6th scholarship that was given in my name and the Gold Leaf. And the past 4 years, we've been enough money was generated to give $1,000. So that helps keep it alive when that's presented.
Now, I've seen this mark, though, at various places on campus. Do you know where some of those other markers are?
So for the centennial, they donated $17,777.77 to help build the gateway at the front of campus. So if you look on the back of the gateway, many people don't know this, you'll see this emblem. Then later, they put benches out in the area around the Eagle. And if you'll look on those benches, you'll see this emblem.
But your curiosity must get the best of you sometimes.
It does. And and I'm not saying this is who some of the people are, but I have read that there are secret societies in many old established universities, and you never know who they are until they die. Mm-hmm. And I don't know when the first ad appeared, but there have been 5 or 6 ads to appear in the Talon in memory of whoever. The last was Moran and Yvonne Pope, and it has the Gold Leaf emblem on it, and it has a Bible verse. So it makes you wonder, were these some of the ones who have been so good to the university and provided fundings to do? I don't know, but that's the only clue I've had, or anyone.
Well, it's been a great pleasure talking to you today, Barbara, and thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Well, thank you, Jim. This is a great way to honor the Gold Leaf and to spread the mission of it. So thank you for doing this interview.
Well, you're very welcome. And as always, I like to conclude with Southern Miss.
To the top.